our story on Bilderberg security lockdown, and that ties into the Daily Mail, and others have now become schizophrenic as well, like me. They're very evil. Royalty and statesmen to descend on Watford Hotel for secret Bilderberg summit amid fears of violent anti-capitalist protest. So I'm sure they're going to try to send in their federal provocateurs, and we'll be there with video cameras to expose it and show them put on a foundation-funded bus and where they're staying, and there'll be cops, you know, in amongst them, and we'll because that's the kind of stuff I'll be doing there. I'll be catching them in provocateuring and exposing them, and they think we're dumb, and we'll just expose them. You know, there's no doubt they'll send in MI5 types to do that, and we're going to be breaking that down after I take some phone calls. But our article that's linked on Drudge, the police-imposed security lockdown for Bilderberg 2013, Ring of Steel will stifle protest, freedom of the press. We have the city council and the police department and all of them with Bilderberg security with a press release. So this is bizarre. I mean, the police departments and the city and the hotel and G4S security are reporting on things that do not exist. I mean, you understand, folks, that this is a full-blown hallucination right now. I mean, there is no weather modification. You heard Rachel Maddow say that. Even though it's all over the news, they do weather modification. And all I said was, they probably didn't make this tornado, but they are messing with the weather. Who knows what that's doing? Oh, my gosh, I said Obama had a joystick controlling the tornado. And I'm crazy and said a thing called Bilderberg Group exists where they're setting up world government. And I've even had people get in the National Archives and give us restricted information and publish it. And you'd think mainstream media would want to pick that up. You know, their plan to establish world government and turn off the resources and enslave us. But you know what? Everybody's going to kind of keep their jobs in mainstream media as they're all phased out. I can't tell you how many IBM and Apple but especially IBM, Advanced Micro Devices, Microsoft engineers I've known who, you know, had 2 degrees, 3 degrees, electrical engineering, chemical engineering, you name it, software engineering degrees that I've lived around and known over the years. And they would tell me, yeah, no, I'm training my replacements from India who work for 10% of what we do. And then when they're done, they'll go to India, and then they won't even build an economy for the Indians. It'll just implode ours. And they go, but what choice do I have? I am working to train my replacements. And then I see the guy and his wife. I've seen a lot of people, you know, years later, and, you know, they're bankrupt. I mean, these are 30, 40, 50-year-old people who run the gamut, who are 50-something years old in some cases, and still haven't paid back their student loans. I mean, it's not like they were making a lot as a top of their class, you know, engineer, maybe $150,000 a year. Then it was $60,000 a year to train the replacement. And then it's, how about no job? But your daughter can go to California and get paid $500 to be in porn. Used to be millions to be in porn, but see, everybody got into it, so there's no, it's the same thing with the whole economy. There is no economy. That's the goal. Shut everything off. Create dystopia on purpose. And the public has all been raised in like this brainwave stare of not being conscious, not being awake. And we're all in it to different degrees. But let me tell you, being actually conscious is incredible. Not that I have all the answers, not that I'm perfect, but let me tell you, I'm conscious. And sometimes I wish I could just go into the glaze of not listening to anybody, not hearing, not caring, just kind of flippering through life like some type of quadrupedal ostrich. Ostrich is bipedal. That's the whole stupid joke. I don't even know what to say anymore at this point. I mean, it is just madness where the government publicly runs Al-Qaeda, publicly ships in all the major narcotics. The big banks publicly launder hundreds of billions a year, publicly in drug money. They run the aircraft. They ship the full auto machine guns, armored vehicles, grenade launchers to the cartels. It comes out in Bloomberg, AP, Reuters. Nobody gets in trouble. The government is grabbing over 1 million innocent kids a year and then putting them on drugs to get federal funds, but by them being disabled. They're doing medical experiments on kids all over the country. The entire nation is under medical experimentation with the GMO and the hydrofluorosilicic acid and the aspartame that's in all the major candies and gums now. And the diseases are exploding, and they're just killing us. And the general public can't get upset, can't get focused, because they're already dead. Raised on television, raised on entertainment, raised on fantasy. I guess we've got to triage things. And that means triage. If you got 1,000 people dead and dying, and you got 20 doctors, you've got to go to the ones you think you can save. And I don't take some pleasure out of the public being a bunch of drooling morons. It actually freaks me out completely and totally that I can't get through to the average person, that they don't know the peril they're in, that they value their ignorance. They wear it like armor. Instead, people I run into, most of them that are actually awake and really know everything works and go, haven't you looked at it from this perspective and actually understand this? They're usually billionaires. They're usually super high-powered, and they go, you can't help them, Alex, even if you wanted to. All you can do is join with the system and try to make it better from the inside. The public would make an even greater evil than we would if they were in control. And I know people that are in the power structure hearing this are going, wow, Alex has got the same speech I've gotten. Yeah, it's the same script. This whole thing is centralized. I've been told that speech probably 50 times different ways. It's always by high-powered people. And, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Just, like, sit there and walk around while all these zombies are everywhere and, like, prey on them? I mean, well... And the whole point is you better prey on them. They're going to prey on you. But it's the globalists organizing the zombies, trying to make the zombies more zombie-like, instead of trying to make them more human, to use them as a weapon against smart people that aren't into evil. Plus, there's not that many places at the table in the New World Order. I didn't psychoanalyze this 18 years ago, but I'll tell you, not selling out the system has gotten me more success, because just like porn, when everybody's doing it, when everybody's selling out, there's no money, there's no power, there's no nothing in it. And that's the whole curse of this, because it's a spirit of evil that has deluded everyone who's serving it, that you're somehow a winner because you know about it, but you don't resist it. You're in the FBI, and you're sent to cut the rope and kill 2 FBI agents that found out it's a false flag. You're sent to shoot the young man in the head, in the back of the head, to cover up he knows it's an inside job. And you're scared. You're given the order. You think you're a tough guy. You got a shaved head, devil tattoos. You know, you act real tough at the bar. That's kind of gotten old. Okay, you killed 5 or 6 people after you got out of the military, and you're kind of figuring out they're going to kill you. And yeah, you're first when they take over. All you hit teams and people, you're dead. You're all dead. I'm not the one that's going to be killing you. And by the way, I wouldn't fear those that can kill your body. You got a soul, brother. ProPure is introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. This is the Pro One by ProPure. You wanted it, you got it. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It cuts out the acid derivative of fluoride. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. This is a revolution against the tyrants. They love putting the toxic acid base of fluoride into your water. They love the fact that it's an adjuvant supercharging the trace Prozac in the water and the hormones and the other chemicals. By cutting out fluoride, you cut out the turbocharger in all the poison being artificially introduced into your body. This is what I use. It's a win-win. You get a high-quality product at the lowest price. You support the InfoWar. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro 1 filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. I just want society to not be destroyed. I don't want to have a world government that makes Stalin, Hitler, and Mao seem like dreams compared to what's going to happen. Because I look at what they're setting up and the dehumanization of it and how it's a covert war to the food and the water and the air. And then I go and find all their source documents where they admit they're doing it. And the public can't get out of that and says, your show's too scary. Too scary, they're doing it. I'm up here risking my life because there's no future if I don't. That's why I don't want people saying, oh, you're doing such a great job, or oh, you're such a hero. A raccoon will chew its leg off to get out of a trap. I know, because I've had cousins and stuff that used to be trappers. And I've gone out with them to their traps, and they're trying to get fur animals to go sell to the taxidermist. That's some of the hillbilly family I've got. And you come up on a bloody leg stuck in a bear trap, basically, but they're not that big. And it's where a raccoon has chewed their leg off to get out of it. And, man, I mean, does it have courage? I don't even think a raccoon has courage. That's not even what you call it. Of course they have courage. I mean, you can be out coon hunting, and they will climb up on the back of a bloodhound or a dog, a coonhound, and grab their ears and drown them. A large coon will. Pound for pound, probably the meanest animal out there. Makes a Tasmanian devil or a wolverine look tame in comparison. You've seen video of wolverines beating up, jumping on the heads of grizzly bears and holding them, biting on their nose? You ever seen footage of wolverines beating up cougars that start fights with them? Well, a raccoon's even meaner pound for pound. But the point is, it just wants to live. It knows it's in a trap. It knows it smells like humans. Doesn't matter if you've dipped the traps in wax before you take them out to plant them. It can still smell it. And its leg is caught in there, and it will chew through its leg every time. Baby raccoons will do it. And you know why? Because they're extremist. They're bad. They're conspiracy theorists. That trap's not hurting its leg. There's not somebody coming to kill it. It should stay there with its leg in the trap and watch MSNBC. And that's what I'm telling you, folks. I'm not a hero. My leg is stuck in the trap. Our leg is stuck in the trap collectively. And I just want to get out of this. And to get out of it, you're going to have to wake up. And so, yeah, I'm freaked out on air. I'm freaked out around here in the office because I realize how real all of this is. My mother was at the house last night with my dad when I got home at about 8 o'clock. And she gave me 3 Bibles. She knows I have Bibles. And she said, I'm praying for you. I'm worried about you going to Bilderberg. And I had the realization after she left that I don't even have any fear. And it's not because I'm a tough guy, folks. A, there's not really much to worry about. If you act afraid, that's when they come after you, because that's what they sense. But there's no future if we don't go do things like this. I mean, is that how much tyranny we live under? That if we go to England and cover a globalist criminal conference, that's heroic, when all that is survival. That's all that is. And the police are going to be there, and they're going to act like we're criminal. And they're going to act like we're bad. And they're going to act like we're wrong. But it's all a sight game, like we're bad. Now, the Bilderberg meeting officially begins in 5 days, next Thursday. And that's the countdown we have at Infowars.com/Bilderberg. And it's a great site the guys have built, but I've told them, Bilderberg's already going on right now. They already have Google. They're having a conference before and after. They're now putting up iron fences all around it. This is where they planned a bunch of World War II stuff. This is where they planned the Arab Spring. That's on record mainstream news. This is pretty much a full-time globalist command center now. They're basically moving in there about half the time. But this is where they meet, the government, the corporate people, to have the payoffs, to coordinate the scams, to coordinate their mafia operations. And because they control the British government, I mean, England's becoming a total police state, famously, beyond 1984. Because of that, they've got all these cops and all these bureaucrats out there to convince themselves and us that somehow it's bad to protest the parasite globalist. But now we've got members of the UK Parliament and the EU Parliament coming. David Icke's coming, I'm coming. And I started realizing this is going to be huge. And the fact that they're going to act like thugs will only illustrate everything for us. Our viewers have demanded it, so now you're going to get it. More pro-Second Amendment gun shows in the month of June.
What we've learned is you cannot hide behind an I-beam when there's a 50 cal present.
Brothers in Arms, 50 cal ammo review, and more. Coming in the month of June to the InfoWar. I'm going to open the phones up specifically for people in Europe who are planning to go to Bilderberg this year, or folks that are in the UK itself. And what do you think of the police saying, we deny a permit for you to have any type of event in the square or at a park or any other public event for that matter? We deny it. And the mayor said, protesting is bad and I'm sure we'll be violent, and we just are glad that we're prestigious enough to be hosting this. And how dare there be people coming and the Daily Mail, royalty and statesmen to descend on Watford Hotel for secret Bilderberg summit. Oh, I thought it didn't exist. Well, why is it secret? Amid fears of violent anti-capitalist protest. And we've gotten the minutes out of Bilderberg before. We know it's authoritarian. We know they want to get rid of the nation state. We know they want to bankrupt people and get $100 trillion over the next decade in carbon taxes paid to them. So I'm going to get into that after we take your phone calls. We're going to premiere this report going up on Infowars.com as we speak. We have the report dealing with the Justice Department saying do not use the term husband and wife. It is insensitive, and that is hate speech. Husbands and wives are a bad thing, ladies and gentlemen, and you're not being inclusive if you don't do it. That's like the Justice Department told the pro-life groups. They said, you may have your demonstration if half the time you promote abortion. How is that free speech? That's the fake fairness doctrine they had on talk radio and the media saying you got to show both sides. Maybe there's 15 sides. Maybe there's 20 sides. They use an equality issue of gay, straight stuff to create a fake civil rights movement to then persecute and attack having children. And it's in the major university documents. We've covered it on air. It's about population reduction and further dividing culture. Never against the corrupt elite, never against the insiders, never against the monopoly men, never against the warmongers. Oh, they're good. Anybody that protests them is a terrorist. But everybody else, black, white, Hispanic, let's fight. Male, female, gay, straight, fight, fight, fight. North, south, east, west. Fight, fight, fight. And the government's going to be the referee. And I've got Axelrod documents. It's in one of Tarpley's books where he talks about we've got to accentuate and use racial division as a control valve. You don't want government-run health care? You're a racist. Don't want Jocelyn Elders teaching your 5-year-old how to masturbate? You don't like gay people. What is... It's unbelievable. This is a bunch of social engineers on top doing this with a bunch of pervs on the bottom who want to do whatever they want, where the state is the parent, as NBC's told you. The state is your mommy. The state is your daddy. We got to get past this ridiculous idea that kids belong to their parents. They belong to the state. They belong to us. MSNBC says, we run your life because we're liberals. No, you're authoritarian, sicko, control freaks. So after I take these calls real fast, have your point question ready. I'm gonna open the phones up for anybody who wants to call in from England. 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. And we have a direct line for people that want to call here, in case you can't call an 800 some places in Europe. It's 651-695-7755, 651-695-7755, 651-695-7755. Okay, without further ado, then I'm getting into the UN gun grab treaty that Obama says he doesn't care what Congress does. NATO commands our military. Foreign governments command America now. And only terrorists are against it. Hail world government. Hail $1 million a day vacations for EU bureaucrats who are tax exempt. Hail, hail, hail. Arrest the homeschoolers in Europe. Hail, it's freedom, it's freedom. Hail it. Men and women together is bad. Everything. You're hateful, hateful. Prove yourself. If you're white and you're attracted to a white woman, that's racist. If you're black and you're attracted to a black woman, it's racist. If you're a white guy with 3, mixed race black, white kids at Walmart, we're going to arrest you. Everybody's a criminal but the government. Everybody's suspect but the real terrorist. I mean, it's so obvious. This is the high-tech authoritarian psych warfare crud they've come up with. And if you just wake up to it, it's over for them. They're all going to jail. Thousands of studies that hydrofluorosilicic acid is eating your brain. Game over. Eric in Colorado, you're up first. This will be a grab bag of stuff. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, Alex, I had called in to Adam Kokesh, but I just can't help myself. I'm going to have to comment on the political correctness thing that you're just going on and on about. And I have a really simple question, really. Do you think life was better for most Americans in the 1950s?
Well, you see, what they do is they phrase the evils that were going on in the past, and then they phrase it as if they've got the moral high ground today for the reasons they're doing it. And some things were better, some things were worse, but they're getting the crowd to go along with this, believing they're building a better world, when the people doing this put hydrofluorosilicic acid and hundreds of other poisons in your water, and they put sterilants in vaccines for people in Latin America, Africa, Eastern Europe, you name it, and then none of the liberal trendies want to talk about that. They'll go, well, there are too many people. So see, you're trendy by having a black friend, but then you go, well, there are too many Africans. When I confront so-called liberals with well, they're sterilizing them. So I mean, which is it? It's all just a load of crud. Now, you want to say something about Adam Kokesh? That's why you called in.
Yeah, I feel like Adam Kokesh, he just strikes me as a dangerous individual, and I don't quite know what you're doing by promoting him, by having him on your show over and over again. He just seems a little unstable, frankly, and this whole, armed march on every single capital. The armed march to D.C. itself was a really bad plan, but the armed march in every
Well, I know it's
capital,
always easy to sit back when you don't do anything and tell everybody else's plan's a bad idea. Here's the deal. I think Adam Kokesh is smart and aggressive and not a globalist agent. Okay, that's what my gut tells me. I didn't like his plan, and I've said day one I didn't like his plan. I said day one that there's weather weapons, but this was probably a real tornado. But you want to probably project that I said it was that Obama sent the tornado. It's the same thing. Or that I am endorsing what Adam Kokesh did. I said I wouldn't go with guns. I'd go with cameras so they can't do a false flag. And it isn't an armed march on all 50 capitals. It's a July 4th march to say we want, in his words, to dissolve this corrupt federal government. I'm saying I just want our federal government back. This is a globalist occupied government. And my words are clear. So you can project whatever you want, Eric. I appreciate your call onto that. Because that's what authoritarianism of the liberal psych warfare stripe is its fellow travelers who really don't even get power from the system. They believe they're being empowered by it. And so they sit around in an NPR voice going, I just don't think your plan's very good. And I don't know why you're promoting Adam Kokesh. He comes off as a dangerous individual. I think Obama persecuting the press like no one's ever done in this country's history is scary. I think the globalists with NDAA are scary. I think all the brigade homelands are scary. I think the FBI hit teams that routinely go around and shoot people in the back of the head now during interrogations are scary. I think the billions of rounds of bullets are scary, and the media trying to cover it up is scary. I think Obama saying our military's under NATO command is scary. I think the civilian inmate labor camp program is scary. The Model States Emergency Health Powers Act, forced inoculation, clergy response teams are scary. I think the Emergency Centers Establishment Act is scary. I think the Army Field Manual on re-education camps. Just type that in. You'll be at army.mil. How they're going to process us. They're planning to collapse stuff. They're planning, I don't know what it is, for total collapse. Financial, nuclear war, I don't know. They're running around the last 20 years gearing up for a total takeover. And basically, I think they're going to start a revolution. They're going to go out and blow stuff up, come persecute people, start a revolution, and they think they're going to use all this high tech and spy bases they built in every town to come get everybody, and I don't think that's what's going to happen. And by the way, all the secret, I mean, folks, I just talked to the station manager in 15:30 a.m., and he's got video of this. FEMA is going door to door asking about flood damage. One guy looks like a hippie, that's the cover, and the other looks like military. There's been no emergencies recently and no reason for them to be in the area. Matt goes on to say he looked for the vehicle but couldn't find one, and his wife called the county, and at first they didn't seem to know, but eventually said they got an email about FEMA being in the area. The county was aware of their presence, but it seems very out of the ordinary. I mean, it's just total Google cars driving around, breaking into your passcode, stealing everything. CIA director goes, we're watching you. Now, there it is, FEMA Corps. That is the FEMA Corps. Oh, my gosh, we now have the video.
Thanks. Take care.
We're going to show more. I didn't even know we had that yet. I knew he was sending it. And they send guys in FEMA Corps outfits. And again, it's the military. And this is, I've been to these drills. Now it's going live, where there'll be a military guy, and he's there, and then he's got the little local citizen spy. I've shown you the footage. You've seen my police state films, where they got the Marines with the Boy Scouts. Now, what's in your parents' cupboard? What's in the medicine cabinet? How many guns do they have?
Hi.
I'm with FEMA. We're just checking the area to see if anyone had flood damages and encouraging anyone that does to register for assistance.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you have any kind of flood damage from last month?
From this last rain?
Yeah, this last month.
No. I mean, not that I'm...
This is just the feds establishing a relationship. Again, innocuous at first. Next it'll be, what will be.
Had any flood damages because the federal government tries to assist with recovering some of that cost.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.
And I think he says he has video, too, of the military guy. And again, this is FEMA Corps that I have national TV saying does not exist. And in the documents on their own FEMA site, it says they're going to assist in warrant service and surveillance of extremists. But the first contact is, hi, I'm just here to see if there's any flooding. And we've confirmed in some of these cases it's only people they know are gun owners. They've already got databases. It's just a first contact. Hi, how you doing? I'm here with FEMA Corps. Guys, type in, excuse me, I almost had a Freudian slip, said Hitler. Type in Obama's National Security Force and click Google and show them the images, the armored vehicles, the citizen spies. Heaven help us, man. They are they got their all their linebackers, their whole deal lined up to just attack us, man. I mean, God help us. God help this country. Robert in West Virginia, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Dude, Alex.
Hey,
Thanks
buddy.
for having me on today.
You bet.
I do appreciate the efforts of you and your team. You are waking people up, Alex.
Well, thank you, brother.
I'd like to talk to you today a little bit about what some claim to be the next false flag staged event, which was supposed to take place here in West Virginia the middle of July around the National Boy Scout Jamboree. And I know you placed links on InfoWars, especially regarding David Rory Vanderbeek's concern, and I'd kind of like to get your take on that. I know if we put more precedence on it and this information gets out there, these kids, these 50,000 Boy Scouts that are going to be attending this year, hopefully have a safe event.
Well, I did see articles about that governor candidate out there, saying he thinks they're doing this drill. There could be a false flag against them. They have thousands of drills to create the illusion of real terrorists and to create fear and to re-engineer the society, kind of like duck and cover. The government's going to protect you from the Russian A-bombs. It's a more sophisticated model of mind control and trauma-based mind control, so they can get you into a shock state to then do the psychic driving, general programming of the day in the government training facility, the government re-education facility. But they probably won't attack that now because we've talked about the drill. But yes, they always have a drill to shadow the real attack they will have. But again, if you type in scouts trained to fight terrorists and more, you can see from 3 years ago, Eagle Scouts training to confiscate guns and kill veterans. It actually says that. Their main enemy is veterans. And I've been telling you this forever, but there they are, training. People 4 years ago, I'll take on those 14-year-old punks. Really, there's nothing more ignorant than a 14-year-old. And by ignorant, I mean they're fearless. They make some of the best soldiers, and they've been trained like it's a game. They will go in and die all day long.
We're seeing the same drills taking place now. Just last month, they're actually doing announced drills at local hospitals regarding the same possible biological attack.
No, I know. They're getting ready for total civil war. And again, they may do a bio attack as the excuse for the martial law, a nuke, any of it. God help us. I mean, this is a criminal, long-term program. And they're going to probably try to arrest everybody that's been speaking out against them when they go for it. We're hoping to stop them. That's why they don't want to have a debate about the bullets and the armored vehicles and all of it until they've done whatever trigger event it is. That's why we've got to work like our lives depend on it now to expose these people.
Yes. Yes. There's two chilling aspects of this, too. A lot of people are not aware that our governor, Earl Ray Tomblin, signed an executive order last year that gave DHS, FEMA, and the National Guard martial law police power over this event. So I want to get this message out, and I know you do a great job.
Sir, I can't go to a kite festival now without National Guard trying to search me. I know, it's just they're everywhere, except the border. And it's just all an acclamation for what? What do you think they're going to do? What are they gearing up for? I mean, we know the manuals say it's for veterans, gun owners, conservatives. The Army manual says we'll be sent to re-education camps where then the potbellies will have their way with us, all the dumb commies that are just been thinking about how much they want to torture us. I mean, what do you think?
And the evidence is already there. The FEMA camps are there. People are documenting this. Just 20 miles south of Mount Hope, where this jamboree is going to take place, there is a FEMA camp being built right now as we speak. So the evidence is there. People just need to wake up and stay away from the mainstream media.
Well, it's FM 3-39.40 is internment and resettlement operations. And again, they probably won't do anything to this Boy Scout Jamboree event with tens of thousands of Boy Scouts. They're there immersing them with the Pentagon and the CIA, I was reading, is going to be their recruiting. This is the new FEMA Corps Army. And the Boy Scouts that are more athletic are going to lead the Yugen crews. They've been training them for at least 4 years. Now they're like 18. And now they're coming to everybody's door. Now, hey, we're just here to let you know we're in the area, FEMA Corps. We're here to assist you. To acclimate her. I mean, do you realize we're living in a science fiction movie? How crazy this is?
We're watching it play out. We've seen this played out on a grand stage in front of us, and we're just now entering the final act, the grand finale.
I just can't believe this has to happen. I mean, this is so incredible. And most cowards in the police force and military, even if they're physically not cowards, intellectually, it's so scary to go against the grain. Even people that know the truth, a lot of them are going to go along with this because they're so scared. The police have been trained as a special weapons and tactics paramilitary force to take you and your family on along with the military. They have been developing, with all the ROTCs, the Boy Scouts, you name it, on record, spy forces. You can type in brownies and Girl Scouts trained to report on terrorists. You'll get NBC News. We've got the former White House chief of staff, now the Chicago mob boss, Rahm Emanuel, who tells the president shut up in meetings and stuff. And who's jabs steak knives in the table, frothing, total insane asylum gangster nutcase. Who you'll follow his orders. People followed Hitler's orders. Why not? He's our God. He said all over TV, he goes, we're going to have a national security force. And your kids will serve every year, at least 3 months, in military training. And again, we're going to have a domestic security force just as big and just as strong as our military. And guess who they train to fight? Gun owners, conservatives, libertarians. But watch, if Obama ever leaves office, all these units will stay in place, and when conservatives get in, they're going to love them. And I want to explain to you, what really woke me up is I'd go to urban warfare events in cities, and I'd get video by listeners as well, like Hebron, Maryland, where it showed Boy Scouts training to take their parents' guns under the Marines in plain clothes. And then they would send out real Marines to confiscate the guns after. First, it'd be plainclothes Marines with the Boy Scouts, 12 to 14. They were wearing uniforms, white shirt and blue pants to be identifiable. And they ran around with the local police and the Marines to confiscate guns. And they've had countless drills since then. It'll be like, Alex is a kook. He says the Arcadia, Iowa drill is for gun confiscation. And then I was quoting the local newspaper, how they were doing. Every house had agreed, 600-plus households, to be searched for guns. And then I read the headline, and I had the colonel on. He goes, well, we are doing gun confiscation, but you're still kooky for not liking it. I mean, they're training for illegal, unconstitutional, all-out war with us. The government's foreign, run by foreign banks. They put fluoride in the water that's killing us on record. They're a bunch of scum. But they've gotten us so far into it that it's Homeland Security. Why all the movies are where terrorists attack the White House. Those movies aren't real, new listeners. The terrorists work for the White House. And I sit here. This isn't fun being on air. This isn't fun covering all this. This is about survival now. We're going to go to Stephanie in London on Bilderberg when we come back. We got some other callers calling in from London. And it's not a big deal. It's no big deal, as Bill Murray says. But you guys wanted me to give out our number, and that's great. I just don't have it on a screen in here. So it's like these callers are in the forbidden zone or something. Or where do they shoot General Zod? What's that called? You know, where they, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's how it is to call into my show anyways. So whatever, I don't care. Many anthropologists and archaeologists believe that before man even discovered the power to harness and use fire, we were involved in agrarian activities. That is, taking the seeds of plants and then replanting them to produce more. The very foundation of our modern civilization and human culture is centered around the planting and cultivation of edible plants, fruits, vegetables, nuts, you name it. And the globalists have been going after gardening. They've been harassing people that have gardens in their front yards or their backyards. They've called for licenses for people to have gardens because you can't trust prisoners in the police state America to be able to grow their own food. That's why I've come to the realization that we need to become self-sufficient. You need to be informed. You need to have the Second Amendment to protect yourself. You need to be politically active to wake up others. You need to filter your water. But you also need to plant a garden. Even if you live in an apartment, you can do this. If you live in the countryside, obviously you can do it on a grand scale. There are so many green belts and areas that humans don't even visit, nearby cities and in suburbs, where people are now more and more planting their own little private gardens and meadows and off the side of the road. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a revolutionary act to unplug from the television, to unplug from the computer and all the globalist propaganda, and to go out in your backyard or your front yard or planters at your apartment or on the roof of the building where you live, and to plant a garden.
Here are some of the amazing deals at InfoWars Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com. The Survival Seed Vault by My Patriot Supply features only the finest survival heirloom seeds for a robust and hardy garden, even in the toughest of times. The ARC All-in-One Seed Kit contains 70 varieties of 50,000 seeds of fruits, vegetables, medicinal, and culinary herbs. All ARC seeds are heirloom. Each type is labeled and sealed separately for ease of use and longevity. The Deluxe Emergency Seed Bank combines 3 of Emergency Seed Bank's top sellers: the Family Survival Emergency Seed Bank, the Medicinal Herb Seeds Pack, and the Culinary Herb Seeds Pack. We also have starter varieties of the deluxe seed packages for fruit, salad, salsa, peppers, and medicinal herbs and more. Go to the InfoWars Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com.
A little seed can grow a huge tree that produces fruit for up to 50 years. We have the best life bombs. That's what these are. We have the best weapons against death out there at the lowest prices, waiting for you to lovingly plant them and lovingly grow them and lovingly eat them and share them with others. We will strike back against the New World Order, and this is only one more initiative in our fight against them. So please join us at InfoWarsShop.com, or you can link through at Infowars.com at the InfoWars Seed Center. All right, we're taking phone calls right now. Let's talk to Stephanie in London. The police are saying that basically protesting isn't allowed unless you go into the Grove property, so you're under private property control, so you have no rights, so that private security can have their way with you. And that's the favor they're doing us. I think it's a great favor. Almost as big a favor as the fluoride in the water and the mercury in the shots and all the cancer rates going up. Stephanie, what are you planning to do? What do you make of all this? I mean, there's going to be thousands of people descending on it, and we're going to be covering it at Infowars.com/Bilderberg. I'll start putting battle plans out on there, you know, politically, of where how we're going to get around this, how we're going to exercise free speech, and how we're going to exercise the Magna Carta, which I know is really scary to these ghouls. But what's your take on this, Stephanie?
Yeah, hi Alex. It's good to talk to you. I just wanted to first off, I just wanted to say I just think you're a genuine folk hero, and I'm very surprised at the way that you're being treated by the press. And if it was up to me, you know, you'd be on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. And,
well, I don't, ma'am. I appreciate it. All I want is for them to not put stuff in the water and be setting this up. And I hear you, but of course they demonize me because they tap my phone and stuff. They know I'm for real. They're scared of the fact that I don't care what they do to me, and I'm committed to fighting them. But I only care, you know, about doing the right thing because there's no future if we don't take action against them.
Absolutely. I think the problem here, I've talked to a lot of police kind of over the Olympics time, and they're scared. I think they're being privatized. And, you know, they had said to me regarding the Windsor Review, which is this thing that came out that is hoping to privatize the police. They've already started in certain parts of the country. That, you know, they're scared of G4S. You know, they're frightened of G4S. They're frightened of the privatization of their police force. And I think it's really, you know, it's terrible that they're kind of pitching G4S against the police, you know, with this at Bilderberg, you know.
Well, I mean, look, the Bilderberg commands their police department through the criminal government. And so, yes, I've talked to the police off record, and they say they don't like what's going on. And then they're ordered to say, the only place you can protest in the entire rural area is in the Grove property, where you then have no rights. And I don't know if the police are even smart enough to get what's going on there. And then the police are ordered to violate everybody's rights outside, driving us into the hands of G4S and this globalist group. And we're just going to do whatever we want. And so I call on everybody en masse to go there and exercise freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, and to document the provocateurs. MI5 is guaranteed to send in. It'll be another victory. We're going to show up, we're going to expose their whole thing, and we're going to win. And if they block me from flying to England, we win. It becomes an international story. They block me from going to an imaginary meeting. Again, they don't even want this meeting to be known. By doing this, we make them act like these complete scum. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing I would say is that, you know, there's a really beautiful canal that goes right through there, and I would really recommend, let's just, you know, we need to get a boat. We need to get you.
Well, ma'am, let's not give away great minds think alike, but I like to swim. And I mean, I don't know if you're, I mean, I should take a mask and snorkel. In fact, I don't want to carry that in my luggage. We get Watson to get me a mask. Well, I got my pet mask and snorkel. I just love it. That's how I escaped from Bohemian Grove last time, was via the waterway. Well, whatever the issue is, they don't get in the water. They got frogmen out there. I saw the local Austin police frogmen. They didn't even know how to swim. Can't even rappel out of helicopters. Ma'am, God bless you. And what's your name? Am I going to meet you there, Stephanie? I know your name, but
I'm going to come up and shake your hand, my sweetheart.
Sweetheart. Uh-oh. I'm sorry I'm married.
No.
I know, you're awesome. Why is my wife sending me to this? Hey, Stephanie, God bless you. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds?